Good afternoon, everyone. I am Brandon from SPS in beautiful Richmond, and I'm going to do this quick video here today as a 500-foot overview of what type of options that you have if your home is underwater. And I'm not talking about the home is actually underwater, but I'm talking about if you owe a higher balance on your home than what the home is currently worth today. All right, and if this here is going to be the case, we're going to go over all the different options that you have and the pros and cons of each. Right. So today, the past figure that I saw was that 25% of the homes across the country have loan balances that are over what the home value is. If you are one of them, you are not by yourself, and this here isn't all of your fault. All right, this is something that you didn't create the biggest, greatest recession of our lifetime and cause home values to drop anywhere from 30% up to 60%. You didn't do that. Okay, all you did was you bought a home. You were able to take advantage of the dream of our country. All right, and one day you just woke up and your home was underwater. There's millions of people across the country that don't have a clue what to do. So the thing that they're doing is they are giving the home back to the bank, which is further dropping prices of homes all over the country. So and this is definitely one of your options. All right, but there's plenty of other options that I'm going to go through quickly here. All right, the first option that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about it briefly because we do a in-person 1-hour training in person, giving everybody the options, including a free phone number list of different people that can help you in your backyard of different of your options here. So the first option that you have is to continue paying on the home. All right, is to keep in the home. If your home is underwater, you can continue paying. All right, you can keep paying until the home value is able to increase, and then you're going to have equity back and then have the option to sell. All right, or if you don't, if you have a home that's you have a balance of 143,000, okay, and there is comps in the area for 85,000. If you sold your home for 109,000, you would have to come to closing with $30,000. Okay, so that's one of your options. And the pro of this is that your credit is going to be intact. Okay, so as long as you have all of your payments in on time, you're going to have perfect credit. All right. The con is that most people just can't be in the home for this period of time, and what happens is they have to move on, where they have to get into a home that doesn't have as high of a payment. Second option is you were able to rent the home. All right, renting the home and becoming a person in charge of buildings, being a landlord is pretty tough. All right. One of the pro here is that you'll have somebody else paying for your mortgage. Okay. The con is that you've got to find, screen tenants, and then you have to deal with tenant issues plus repairs. All right. And if people are tight on money, that's not what they want to be doing. All right. Third option is a deed in lieu, and that's kind of basically like giving the keys for the home back to the bank. All right. It is one of the options, and even some of these banks will even do a relocation program where they'll give you between $1,000 to $3,000. Right, so that is the pro of that one. The con is that it is going to be on your credit for between 5 and 7 years. So it's almost as bad as having a home that is able to get foreclosed on. Right, mortgage modification. All right, this is when the homeowner goes back to the bank and asks the bank to change terms of the loan. Okay, and that's great if these banks are able to do that, but most banks we're finding today, they aren't as flexible as the homeowner is going to need. So what happens is they just don't get anywhere. All right. The pro is that if things were changed, that your terms would be easier and help you afford them, which is better. Okay. Cons are you may not be able to keep being in the home after changing things because some of these banks are completely uncooperative and refuse to do any type of changing on your term, and also your credit score is going to be affected. All right. A fifth option that you have is a short sale. All right. If you can find any type of realtor that is going to be able to list your home well below what's going on currently and get a cash buyer to come in, what you can do with that is you can bring that cash buyer to the bank and get the bank to agree to taking less on the home than what is owed. Okay. Now, the pro of doing this is the loan's going to be paid off and the home is going to be sold. All right. The con is it's tough to do. Banks typically may drag out the process or they won't agree to issue work with the person. So then you're back to the very beginning. All right. The sixth option, which isn't a very good one, is give the home back to the bank and let the bank foreclose. All right. The pro of this is that the home will go bye-bye and that you won't have to worry on the home anymore. The con is that your credit's going to be affected for 7 years, okay? And it's going to be tough to qualify for a car loan to purchase a different home, and it's just going to make things very difficult for 7 and as far out as 10 years. Bankruptcy. You can always file a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. There's pros of this is that some of your debts can go, but some of the cons is that the bankruptcy is going to be on your credit for 7 to 10 years, and then also your credit's going to be severely affected by that, which is going to be hard to qualify for a car loan, a home loan. All of those are going to be very difficult. All right, so now it is true that you have plenty of choices, and you're going to have pros and cons for all of them. All right, so that's the top 7 choices, and you have to figure out which one's going to be the best for you. All right, now there is very good news. We've got one more option. All right, we've got this brand new program which has been created to give private homeowners just like you another option. All right, and this program is called our ACE program, which is very cool, and a lot of people are able to take advantage of this because they've got many other options maybe aren't a good fit. All right, what is the ACE program? All right, the ACE program is when we will lease a home from you at the time of purchase for the loan balance. Okay. And what we do is you would only be responsible for any type of repairs for the first 30 days. And then the tenant that comes in there that you were able to approve is going to be responsible for any of the fixing of anything in the house. Okay? What does it cost you? It doesn't cost you a thing. And that's one of the best parts, is that if your home is underwater, you obviously don't want to come out of pocket to have your home sold. This program doesn't cost you anything. All right. How long does this lease have to be? The minimum term for a home that is going to be underwater is going to be 10 years. We have to give the buyer an opportunity for the home value and the appreciation of the home to come back. Okay. When do you begin collecting rent? All right. You begin collecting rent 1 month after we find a tenant buyer and they take possession of the home. We expect it to take no longer than 30 days after you are set for us to get into the home for us to find a qualified tenant. We currently have a database full of tenant buyers that are actively looking to get into homes. All right. What happens if the tenant tears up the home? Well, that's a great question. All right. These people are getting into the home and they are looking to purchase the home. Okay. So they have a different frame of mind. And one of the things that also happens is that they have skin in on the game. So they are required to put a deposit down, which they would be able to lose. All right. What type of paperwork is involved? We have a very simple 2-page lease option agreement that when you are ready, you will be able to fill this paperwork out, and then you will have to approve the tenant. Okay, once you approve the tenant, our attorney is going to close the paperwork and sign the SPS interest of the home over to the tenant buyers. Okay, what if the tenant buyer doesn't ever close? Well, this actually could be the best thing that you could ever have happen for you, because so over the period of 10 years, you've got somebody else paying your mortgage, and you've got a benefit of having all of the equity of build up in the home, but it is also paid for by somebody else. And then also, you also get 10 plus years of credit because they are doing all of their payments on time. All right, do I get any money if they do buy? Well, the answer is going to be unfortunately no. If the home is going to be over leveraged, they are going to be purchasing the home at today's price, and the only reason that they would agree to purchase a home that is going to be underwater is that in a period of time that they can pay down every payment, which is going to reduce the principal even by a bit. So in a period of 10 years, it is going to reduce what is owed by anywhere from 25 to 45%. Will you be paying for any cost of repairs? No. The only time that you're going to be held accountable for repairs is going to be within the first 30 days. So what's your responsibility? All right, you have to get the house ready to show. You have to approve a tenant buyer, and we work with an escrow company to collect the rent and make the payment. We found that that's the best way to do that. What if we don't find a buyer for you? Well, here, if we don't find a tenant buyer that you're going to approve within 60 days, we can just tear up this paper and the lease option doesn't have to be in force anymore. All right. What if the home isn't over leveraged? Okay, we can still work with homes that aren't over leveraged as well. All right, as long as we can get a fair price on the home, we are able to work with that as well. The cool thing on that is that gives you an option to sell the price for a fair market price, and in a period of time of 10 years, you will get the full asking price. All right. Any other questions? Get in touch with me at 224-333-6266, extension 810. And again, this is Brandon at SPS in beautiful Richmond. All right. Hope all is well. Take care and God bless.